it's 3 influencers, but it is 4 influencers. Another things we're going to cover is Tony Robbins, some things I've learned about him. I'm going to share stuff I learned about him, team discussion about the weight of the wolf, and also going over the trial team, goals for Team Leverage, and then like announcements, feedback, and then Q&A.
All right, really quick shout out to Tom for getting his first boom. When he first joined, he wasn't closing very much because of family stuff, but he just started like not too long ago, and he just got the first boom. So huge shout out to him. And then Tyler for coming in with like 6 booms, 5 from Inner Circle, right? Did you get any more?
No, and technically those 5 were like at the bottom of the list that already count as technically booms when it comes to according to them. And this is funny. Everybody, I have 29 people I've contacted. I think less than maybe 7 responded through email, Facebook Messenger. Half of them are in the Facebook groups. Half of them aren't even on Facebook when I look up the names. Some of them don't have emails or phone numbers. One of them's named Tink, and that's it, with no last name. So I actually found them. So it's very like blunt. But like Joel's gotten like 5 Inner Circle booms, like talking to people, and he has like 2 other in the works. But it's Joel. So, and they're switching it up. They're switching it up to where if, let's say, for example, the top 30 closers out of, there's about, I think, 60 to 70 now. They cut it down a little bit. The top 30 basically are going to close every program for Dan. Inner Circle, Dan on Demand, HTC, possibly Tube Your Own Horn. So they're only picking like 30 elite people to have like for full-time influencers. I mean, full-time closers.
All right.
Cool, man. Anyways, congrats on the boom.
Yes.
And Shelly, welcome back. She went back to the Team Leverage.
Thank you. Y'all, I'm free now. So, I don't have my same obligations. So I really appreciate you guys having me. I really love the synergy of the team and what you guys do, and that just makes all of the difference as far as the results go as well. I know it's not just me who thinks this. Y'all on the damn Inner Circle pitch and shit, so y'all are doing the damn thing. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate y'all.
What did you think so far?
What I think so far of what, of being here?
Yeah.
I noticed the types of I'm a person who's very guided by my values, and so the way that in which I would run a team correlates to what's happening here. So I really like that. I feel like it's very in line with my values and the way I like to operate. You might notice that sometimes I might be in the background just like silently fucking producing results. Like I like that there is such synergy here. And that is one of the most important elements of the team. Y'all are rock stars. Y'all are also supporting one another and helping one another in terms of questions. But also what was so impressive to me was just the infrastructure of the team as well. Like y'all have shit lined out. I mean, you've got lots of documentation on your team, lots of things that actually support the closers being successful with the information that they need to be able to close effectively. And that's just not something that I really see everywhere. So needless to say, I'm impressed.
That's awesome to hear. Funny story, I was actually on Shelly's team for the Inner Circle closing team, and so was Tyler. So it's come like full circle.
It is.
Yeah. We took what worked from Shelly and kind of like just tossed it in here, to be honest.
Yep. There's definitely some influence there.
Oh, yeah. I'm honored to be here and to be able to contribute in this way as well. I think that once I kind of find my groove and everything, there'll be a lot of value that I can bring to you guys as well. So, it's awesome.
Yeah, and she's been like reviewing everything, and she sent me like a 1-page summary of what she's done, and I cannot wait for her to start.
Yeah. So I just wanted to I wanted Shelly to actually go over some of the tips and tricks, how she was able to be a really solid closer for Team Downlock. And I just wanted to mention like how you do anything is how you do everything. And this is the message she sent me. And this is like, I'm just like, this is why she's ahead of the game compared to like average closers. Like this, dude, this is what she sent me. She says, "Thank you, Joe. Much appreciated. I'm going to keep working tonight, and a few more questions might come up tomorrow after I practice my role play. But so far, progress is good. I've almost completed Jordan Belfort's full straight line persuasions course, Jake's video on obsession. That's me with the straight line selling. Haha. I want to bring that powerful structure in addition to what I learned in HTC." She dissected Josue's webinar and built an info doc in script. And then she is just focused on being an expert on the teachings, you know, making sure she has the frame on point, making sure she has like the objection she's just over preparing. Like if there's a definition of over preparing, like it's fucking Shelly. Like look at this. Like I think Dylan, this is something like Dylan would really like and appreciate looking at something like this, because this blew my mind. I was like, this is the reason why she's closing deals back to back to back. The reason why like all hell broke loose with Team Danlock and Desmond, and when they found out the first time she joined our team, because look at this. That's all I have to say. So Shelly, the floor is yours. Any tips or tricks? And yeah, it's all you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it. And thank you, team, for allowing me to share just some things that have really worked for me. Something someone said to me that really stuck with me and really helped with my closing journey was, they said, if I had to chop down a tree, and I was given an axe, and they said I had 4 hours to chop down this tree, I would spend the first 3 hours sharpening my axe. And when I started applying that to closing, wow. So I want to really make sure that I have as much in place as possible and have preempted as many implications as possible to give myself that advantage as a closer. There's so much that you're really thinking about on the call as far as being present with the prospect and also remembering a bunch of different other things. The last thing I need to be doing is having mental bandwidth consumed by stuff that I could have prepared beforehand. So one of the things that is very important to me is being able to find my own closing style. Like that's something that's been so helpful for me in terms of removing limiting beliefs about what the close or closing is supposed to be or isn't, and really understanding how does Shelly close? How do I conduct? How do I lead? How do I guide? Like, what exactly does that look like? And you might have to start with it's a very introspective process. It might not be very obvious to you at first what your closing style is, but it may be, okay, taking different personality tests, getting to understand the intricacies of your personality. What are you good at? What are you not good at? What do you like? What don't you like? What types of movies do you like to watch? All of these things are very important, because it should not be Shelly is a closer and Shelly is Shelly. That should be one. It should be part of my identity. And so for me, finding my closing style was just absolutely imperative, and I'm constantly developing it. You know, if you've ever talked to me about like what my closing style is, I have a very distinct style. I would say I'm an inquisitive detective therapist who's like coaching you and charming you in that way. Like that's really how I think of my style. And that took a lot of introspection. But once you're able to put forth that, now you can start building your frame around your closing style. Certain frames, if I try to take on this super commandy frame, and I'm not Sergeant Desmond, I'm not Dan, those frames don't really deliver the results as well as it is when I'm in harmony with myself. So if you have not delved as deep as you can into finding your closing style, I would absolutely encourage you to do so. It's so much fun. And you really get to take a lot away from it as well. Now, the second thing that really made the difference for me is the art of the follow-up. I cannot explain just how important this is. For me, when I came out of HEC, when I first started closing, I had a lot of limiting beliefs, especially, and this isn't Dan's fault, it's not anything, it's just kind of like how we interpret things. I was like, oh, it's got to be a one-call close, or, they're supposed to be coming to me, and like I'm on this pedestal and everything as a closer. But connecting with some of the top closers who are in HTC, like Mark Fortin is Dan's #1 closer. Andres was like his #2 closer, etc. There is so much that's important with the I cannot tell you how many deals have just as a result of just following up. This means, like, for example, when I have a call that's booked with a prospect, I have an email template that I send out to them for the purpose of solely building my frame. It tells them like a little bit about me, who I am. I attach like some things as well, like success stories, screenshots of that, so that they can get an understanding of the results that people have gotten, things like that.
Yeah.
And I let them know, okay, we're meeting at this time and this date, If you need to change anything, let me know. But that email is establishing so much rapport. It's personalized, but I've made it a template so that I don't have to sit there and type out that email all the time. I just copy, paste, and send it. And then from that point, when they get on the call with me, they're like, wow, can't wait to talk to her. Like, what's up? That is one way that I build my frame. And it also introduces that chain of follow-up. I mean, like, they think about, but when you were about to buy HTC or before you bought HTC, how many times did Dan email you? The emails that you opened, the emails that you didn't open, you should be present in their inbox. It's not to say that you have to go all above, but the art of the follow-up is really so important. If I have a no-show, I'm going to send that email afterwards just to protect my reputation as a closer. Like we say in the Creed, our reputation is very important, and the reputation of this team, of Team Liveridge as well. We're representing Joe, we're representing Jake, we're representing ourselves, we're representing the integrity of this team. So when you have that art of the follow-up, not only are you going to make more money, but you are going to really be increasing your frame and building that reputation. All of that is so important, including leads that maybe I did not close. I cannot tell you how many leads I have converted just as a result of having very strong follow-up. And these are templates that you can just, I just have a doc and I just copy and paste and send it on. You can organize close.io to have that really working quite well for you and just send it out. There'll be so many people who they just reply and they're like, you know what? Yeah, I want to do it. Okay, yeah, let's do it. And then you're able to move forward in that process. So don't underestimate how important repetition is for the subconscious mind. If you've ever learned a little bit about Jordan Belfort's straight line system, in addition to all of the things that you're overcoming to get people to buy, people also have limiting buying beliefs that it's a little bit hard to anticipate. Everyone is different and everyone is unique, but a lot of the times they're just very subconscious reasons as to why they're not buying. Like, my mom told me when I was like 5 years old to not talk to strangers and to not buy from salespeople. So you know what? As a result of that, I'm just not going to buy. They're not going to tell you that, but like subconsciously, like that's what's happening. And really the only way to kind of penetrate the subconscious mind is by number one, getting them very emotionally invested, and number two, through repetition. So maybe you've gotten them emotionally invested on those calls when you were speaking with them, but it wasn't quite enough to get them closed. Now move into that repetition. And once I keep sending those emails, they often convert. So the art of the follow-up is very important, and it can lead you to make a lot of money. When I did not have that follow-up, that was the difference between me making like $3K a month versus like $8K a month. So it is so important. And the third thing that has blown the doors off of really helping me with closing, I hope this can be helpful for you guys as well, is stories. Facts tell, but stories sell. You will blow the doors off of your closing rate if you can be very familiar with these success stories. Testimonials, success stories are it's really like the only way to actually prove that your product or service actually works. Stories, testimonials obliterate excuses. It is so hard for anyone to be able to argue with anyone else's results. If you That's why I've dissected Josue's webinar so much, because just after watching it, the dude talks really fast, and come from me, I talk kind of quickly. So I was like, whoa. So I had to go through several times. I put a video thing on my thing, which allows me to slow videos down, and I slowed it down. And so anytime he has a success story, I pause the webinar, I pull the person's name out, I write out their story and paraphrase it in my own words, so that when I'm connecting with these people, I have this very hardcore evidence to share with them. One of the main reasons why people don't buy is because they just don't feel like it's visceral to them. They're like, yeah, I mean, this is good, and it sounds like this could work, but I don't really know if it would work for me. And they can't really see it being very visceral. They've been in this situation, they've been broke, they've been unsuccessful, all of this. That is their reality. That's what feels real to them. But when you really present, I like to say, I'll tell them the story. I mean, is that something that you could really see yourself doing? Or they give the vision, and they talk about that. I mean, you tell me that you want to be able to grow and monetize your Instagram account, and you want to even take this to the next level where you're even growing Instagram accounts for other agencies and being able to double or triple your income. And I mean, we have everything laid out step by step for you. I mean, is that something that you can actually see yourself doing? You tell me. And I'm trying to really paint that and make that viscerally for them. There's something so powerful about there's a difference between like facts or even just like little details about things. But when they can really actually live this very visceral vision, oh man, like now you're really able to get them to move from that lower self of, I can't, I'm scared, into making a higher self decision. And so stories are really such a powerful thing that really sells. So if you haven't really gotten familiar with success stories for people, and you can't recall those success stories, I would highly encourage you to be able to find some kind of way to do that. Whenever you have some sort of excuse or resistance, keep in mind that stories really do obliterate those excuses. So those are some things that I really like to do and have been really helpful for me. And I hope that they can be helpful for you as you just fucking explode. This is an amazing team, and you guys are absolutely amazing closers as well. So I hope that any of that can be valuable for you. And let me know if you have any questions along the way.
Wow.
Who is hooked to have Shelly on the team?
Put it in the comments below. Put it in the chat below.
Your tonality just like draws us in to listen.
Jesus Christ, this team is fucking great. All right, so recap. So 1, know your closing style, and correct me if I'm wrong, Shelly. Know your closing style.
Mm-hmm.
2, the art of follow-up. And 3, stories.
Yes.
Top 3.
Yes.
All right. I think this is a perfect time to this will be homework going into this next upcoming week. And the good thing about this upcoming week is a little bit slower because of the holidays. So a lot of people has time to kind of figure out their closing style. So I'm gonna just this is just an idea in my head. So everybody is the homework of this week would be like learning more of your closing style, learning more follow-up techniques. So you can have email templates on Close.io, and Dylan said you have freedom of reign in our Close.io when it comes to templates, and I 100% agree, because what you've been saying, like everything just makes sense. So we'll have to figure out like a follow-up, maybe like a follow-up class, art of follow-up class, just for the team. And the last thing is stories. So stories. I think the homework for the team is knowing one success story in the back of your head that you could use with every call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm happy to help you guys out if you have any questions. Like, let me know. I'm a very like supportive kind of pearly person.
That's awesome, Shelly.
Awesome. Happy to have you here. Okay, so this influencer is all thanks to Dylan Starr. So everybody has like clap hands for Dylan Starr, because he went on a live stream and he literally caught a influencer's attention doing a live stream, just talking about sales, talking about how you should approach things. And he actually hit him, Justin hit up Dylan, and I actually know Justin Senior too. I watched a couple of his videos when I was doing drop shipping, so I was like, "Holy shit! Did we just land another unicorn influencer?" And I actually started talking to him, and next thing you know, he's super close. Like he just wants us to close for him. He's like, "I don't care what we have to do. Let's just set everything up. I want to start getting closers on my team ASAP." And as far as the things we're going to be closing for him, we might close his 1K package too. But what I'm telling him to do is I connected him with Kevin David and Host Waste guy, Christian. And Christian's going to build out a funnel and build out some emo sequences. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy. So he's gonna build out Justin Senior's, and he already has a personal brand, so everything's on tap. They just have to set up the emails. Once they do, we have the 5K mentorship program, which is 10% commission, which is $500 a close. And currently, right now, they're working on getting email set up and Calendly. So going into next month, like, fuck, like it's just like so many more opportunities for closing. So the time is like literally now to like hone down your skills, like hone down your fucking skills, because once we get popping and rocking and rolling, I mean, we're already doing that now. Like if you're not working on your skills, you're just going to get exposed with these calls. So it's just like, make sure you work on your skills to make sure you close these people to really change your life. So that's the first influencer.
You said you connected Justin Senior with them too?
Yep.
Holy shit. Yeah. Like just us being the middleman, you just blew him up big time in so many ways. That's fucking crazy.
Just got connections, bro. That's insane.
Wow.
And next you know, guess what? He has his friends who wants closers. Then their friends want closers. So it's like, it's just going to be massive. That's all I have to say. It's just going to be massive.
And this isn't even like the last opportunity in the slide, so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, speaking about the next opportunity. So your guys' next influencers is also us, me and Jake. So we are currently, we're just like officially influencers now. Like we said in the beginning and now we executed on the idea. And obviously we really want to reward the team. We want to give like a really high commission payout. And I just want to say shout out to Jake for really learning funnels and really learning Facebook ads, because now we're actually getting leads to our agency. And Dylan had the benefit of closing one already to go on a trial with us. And by delivering results to that guy, to a real estate person, he's going to get also like $500 in commission. And that commission is like ASAP. So once the payout hits our Stripe accounts, it's going to go straight to your account. So the way I wanted to structure it, first call, the one call closer, all right? One call closer. So the way I want it to be set up is 50% commission on what you close. And I want you guys to be closing the 2K digital marketing services for 2K. But for whatever reason, if that can't happen, you'll have the $997 as a back pocket as a 50% discount. So legit, if you close a $2,000 package, you get 1K like this. Like legit 1K like this in your PayPal account. And also, Jake, I'll let you talk after this. The way I want you guys to treat it, and you guys are great at this, so it doesn't really matter. We're paying for these leads, so treat it at the same as Kevin David, Hostway, and then Justin in the future. Because now being on this end, you really kind of understand why like you don't want your money to go to waste. You don't want to just give your leads to people who can't close them, because it's money on the table, you know, money for them and money for you.
Just in case Joe didn't clarify or you're confused, what we offer is digital marketing. So we specialize in running Facebook ads for small businesses or for people like freelancers, like real estate agents. And I launched the campaign yesterday morning, and then like by this morning we had like 10 leads or like 8 leads. How many was it? 8?
It was, we had like 8 leads in just under a day.
Yeah, and that was just the day with like starting out. I haven't even like optimized anything yet. So there are many leads, and this would be good. And what you're closing on is basically a free trial. So it's basically, the setup is we run a campaign with a lead magnet. So something of value for them to sign up with, for them to like put in their information for us. And then we send them the lead magnet, and then we get on the phone with them as fast as possible to close them on a 1 week free trial to run Facebook ads for them, and all they have to do is pay for ad spend. So we're already starting off the relationship by giving them something. It's like really, really valuable, actually. It's not just some like random ebook I pulled off the internet. It's super valuable. So they're already in a good spot. And then all you have to do is get on the phone and close them on more free stuff. So a free trial where they just pay $150 in Facebook ad spend. It's the money that Facebook charges our accounts for running campaigns. It's not like a service fee or anything. It's literally just free. We like make the campaign, launch it for them, manage it for them, analyze everything, and all they have to do is pay for the ad spend for 1 week. Afterwards, they would, if they're happy with us, of course, they would sign up for $19.97 or $9.97. And then right now we're like testing things out with Dylan and really optimizing everything so that when we're ready to bring on more team members, we will talk about it more then. Sound good? Anything else, Joe?
Nah, we made it. Just kidding. Next time.
All right. Next up, this I believe is Thursday on the 27th. We are launching our biggest trial member group batch ever. It's going to be 19 people bare minimum. I've already sent out emails to 19 people out of 65 plus people who applied. We picked the 19 best ones so far, and it's all thanks to Ben Apostoli, Jake Chen, Maurice, Michael, David Z, Cheyenne, Kevin for really going through all these like countless of video resumes and picking out the best ones for us. And they're the ones that are going to be leading the team. And because I believe all of them have gone through the trial system, so they know exactly how it goes down and what we expect out of people. So with the past trial groups, we've had probably like groups of 5. I don't think we ever had like 10 or anything. So this is very big. And with even like 5 people, they're already like, you know, a lot of questions that come up and stuff. So with 19, it might get a little bit overwhelming. So I just want to give a big shout out to all these great people for helping us out and really stepping up for this leadership opportunity. And hopefully we're going to get some really cool people. Funny story, I posted this on behalf of Joe's account and they haven't approved it yet. And it's been like 4 hours. So funny side note, but yeah, good stuff. And actually I wrote this before we got the 3rd influencer. So technically there's another influencer. So yeah.
And then another influencer, us.
All right, moving on. I believe this is you, Joe.
This is not me.
Then it's Dylan.
This is me.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Dylan is up. What's going on, guys? Super pumped and excited. Man, this is crazy. Got my envelope here. I was taking notes when she was speaking. I was just like, damn. I'm like even me. I'm like, oh, this shit's so good. I'm like going out like my method for stories is like I pull up the damn sales page and I'm like reading stuff to them and then just going off the testimonials, and she actually broke all the stuff down. So I'm even like, man, like that's incredible. So if you guys weren't taking notes, that was awesome.
Quick side story, really quick. 1 second. So I'll keep it fast. So Jordan Belfort had an interview with Ty Lopez. Great interview if you haven't watched it. But in there, Jordan Belfort talks about he was selected for a psychology experiment where he was given a sales situation to sell someone on something. And his job was to just sell someone on something. And I can't remember what it was called. The actor? Yeah, the actor that played like the prospect, he was instructed to say no.
To not get closed, right?
Yeah, never say yes. And then I think within like 5 minutes of the conversation, he like broke down laughing because he just had to say yes. And part of that was one of the things that the psychologist found that Jordan did different than everyone else was that he over-prepared. Where everyone else spent like 5 minutes going over the material, like the situation scenario they came up with, Jordan spent like 2.5 hours just sitting down, reading through the material, creating like a script to go by. And that's what really set him apart. And that's actually what Shelly reminded me of, like right away. when she told that story. So pretty cool stuff. Over prepare.
That's insane.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
that's
Even with the
insane.
digital marketing stuff, like beforehand, when I do the calls, like I write down and I'm like, okay, what kind of objections do I think I'm going to run into? Like what makes sense? And then I just kind of prepare and then just jump into it. But damn, yeah, I gotta see that lets you know, guys, there's always levels, man. Like now I'm even just like, fuck, I can get 10 times better. Like, holy shit. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna take everything, like always learning. So that's why I love this team, guys. We're here to learn, we're here to grow. And I've been watching a lot of Robert Kiyosaki's new content and stuff on YouTube. And one of the things he talks about that I loved in his organization is even his employees, he wants them to be entrepreneurially minded. And he's like, actions always encouraged, and then therefore mistakes are encouraged. So he tells his team mistakes are good, where every other employer out there will tell you like, oh, you have to be perfect. Like, don't make mistakes. Like, mistakes are encouraged. However, if you make a mistake, right, we learn from them and then we adapt. Next slide. Is it the image? I can't see yet. Okay. So besides Jake and everyone else, can somebody tell me what's wrong with this image? What's the mistake here? None of the leaders. David says typo. Yeah, that's one mistake. No rapport building. Can anyone tell me what the really, really big mistake is that I gave a shout out in Slack not to do 2 weeks ago?
Wait, why would no? Guys, this is so clear. Please tell
David
me.
got it. David got it. All
I
right.
was like, why does it say Team Lifestyle Ninja?
Yes, guys. Fuck. That's why I said that, because I knew. It's funny too. And like I'm not even gonna hate on this mistake being made, because a week ago, as soon as we started getting Josue's leads, I was, we're rushing, we're inputting information, right, guys? And then I went and typed it out, and then I went and I almost clicked send, and I stopped myself and I thought about it. My brain clicked. I was like, wait a second. I went to the top, the drop down. I was like, oh shit, that would have been bad. And then I told Jake, I went into Slack, I did an announcement, and then I crossed it out. I'm not here to call anybody out, guys. I just want to make sure that everyone understands and knows that this can't happen. Does everybody understand why this can't happen? Because if you're doing your pre-framing emails and somebody misses an appointment and they don't show up, and all of a sudden you get an email from Kevin David and you're there for Instagram, they're thinking like, what the fuck's going on, right? So it's just confusing, and vice versa. And as our team grows, guys, we're going to have emails for Justin's team. We have emails for Liveridge Media. We have emails for HTC. We have emails for Kevin David. So next slide. So there's a drop down. Everyone knows where the little yellow box is. So please, guys, please double check the email so that we don't ever have this an issue, because the last thing I want is for one of these prospects, like that's when it would be bad, is if a prospect fucking tags one of the influencers in a Facebook post and asks why they're getting an email from somebody else, that shit will be bad. So that's why I'm just like kind of so hung on this, because I don't want it to happen, to avoid that mistake from happening, because that would be like catastrophic. So we can avoid the big mistakes. Can we put a 30-second delay on email send? I don't know. That's a good question. Jake would probably know that.
What?
I would adjust the template titles and make one for each influencer. Elliot, yeah, that'd be great. Cool. Unless Chelly does it, she's gonna do a badass job. I think she'd do like really awesome. So if she wants to do templates, she can edit them in.
Yeah, let's do Shelly on that. 30-second delay. What does that mean? Actually, I'm not familiar.
I believe there's a way in close.io. I'll have to look at it, because I know that there's a way that they had it on Team Dan Locke where for 30 seconds, you have the option to undo, send, and pull the email back in case you fucked it up.
All right, good call, David Clark.
Yeah, good.
Very good call.
No, we're just going to implement right away. Give me 1 second.
And then, so once a week, guys, like I said, I do always go through the team tracker. I always go through Close.io just to make sure that all the leads are being nurtured and inputted correctly. So I haven't seen anyone forget to add the funnel IG boss to the IG lead. So awesome job, guys. I honestly, that was the one thing I was expecting, and everyone like hit the nail on the head. So I think too for this, Jake, I don't know how you want to do it, but maybe for the onboarding process for trial members, I definitely want them to know and understand that, hey, once you make it onto the team, depending on the lead, there's a process where you input the funnel name and make sure that the email is selected correctly.
All right, I already made a little note about it in the trial onboarding sheet, but I will make an entire loom on it.
Awesome. Next slide.
My top goals for Liverich.
Okay.
RPA.
So my top goals going into 2019 for the team, guys, RPAs is revenue producing activities, is helping the team become extremely profitable. And I'm going to be doing that by incorporating strategies for our most profitable leads. So next slide.
Highest ticket packages will be my main focus.
Yes. So temporarily, I'm going to be stepping down from the inbounds, and I'm going to be hitting our most profitable list, being the outbounding the IG boss leads, right? I'm going to be creating a process to minimize trial and error for these leads. So Josue has the packages because it's going to be the 4K consulting. So because I have like a lot of outbound experience, my goal is as soon as I figure out and start getting those booms and be like, okay, this is what's working, I'm going to come back to the team and I'm going to train everybody. Obviously, like just us trial members and stuff aren't going to have access to this, and be like, guys, this is what's working. Let's go after some 4K booms, right? The more money you guys make, the more money the team makes. Same thing with outbounding the Livereach media leads, right? Me and Jake are working on the process right now with these free trials and then upselling them and holding them accountable to the month-to-month. Once that process works and we know that they're actually paying after the trial, right? Because there's always kinks whenever you first test stuff out. I'm going to be going back, teaching and training everybody on how to do it. I'll be training the team on these processes after it's proven. Yes, just said that. Thank you, Slide.
Dylan has been working very hard, to say the least.
First course.
My first course
Yes.
launching.
So 2019 also on my agenda is I'm actually going to be launching my very first sales course, being my niche is going to be objections. So I've had tons of people like reaching out to me and stuff, even outside, like asking questions about doing role plays and all this other crap. And the only people that I focus on helping and teaching and training is Liverich. I'm still waiting for the slide to come up. There it goes. Okay. So from you guys, if you guys have gotten any value whatsoever from when I've been doing role plays or going over your calls or looking at the videos in the onboarding document, if you guys can give me a testimonial video of that, that'd be extremely helpful. As well as whenever I launch my my course, I'm going to be doing posts on like a free training, right? That's how Dan Locke, that's how you. I'm a Brunson their asses, right? I'm a Brunson their asses. Yeah, free training, upsell to buy my shit. That's what's going to happen, and I need everyone's support for that, so I'd appreciate it. Okay, now, yeah, Brunson, I love it. So. But what's going to be key, guys, is with this is all my time and attention still for like listening to calls and stuff is going to be on Team Livereach. And in the back end of my course and program, I'm going to have a continuity thing set in place to where people want their calls listened to. I will help them as well as I'm going to upsell them to coaching. As that grows, I'm going to be offering those commissions and stuff for coaching is going to go to Team Livereach. So what I mean by that is I'm only one person. So as it grows, I can't help and give feedback and training for people on coaching myself. So who do I trust the most out of anyone to be able to coach other people outside of sales? Only you guys, literally. So
Jesus Christ, we're consultants, we're influencers,
Yes.
we're all nine.
Because we are not a part of HTM technically, and we have freedom of reign, we are all allowed to do, consulting and stuff like that. So I am going to be bringing those type of opportunities to where you guys can literally like have like an hour session on somebody and fucking train them on coaching. So
Guys, this is legit this most genius idea, because what do you think? Like, Dan Locke is literally training salespeople, closers, already training them on their mindset. Obviously, 7 weeks is not a honest, like, if you especially don't have sales experience, is not a legit long time to really be like a master closer. So like, this is genius. That's all I have to say. Like, this is fucking genius. Consulting people who want to learn more about sales. Next thing you know, they're really good at sales. They're savages at sales. What can happen? Oh, now they can be a part of the team and like close these. I'm just thinking of future wise, but yeah, it's insane. Like, Dylan's doing something big, guys. He's doing
exactly. So, and then on top of that, right? My business partner, who we do our closing agency leads, just like Jake and Joe are. On the back end of that, we have some deals in place with some of these clients who want to incorporate higher ticket packages, and when they do that, and we unload them too, again, I already have closers in place, right? Like Live Rich. And then so like coaching, consulting, that's why like we have to master this, guys, and become like freaking amazing, because in next year, when I say that you guys and this team is going to be the focal point of everything, like Joe stuff, like all my shit, anyone and everyone like I ever meet, right? Because we just going to have the solid team. And the reason why I trust this is because Jake did something very interesting earlier today. Earlier today, we talked about all these applicants. We got 19 people. And Jake's like, great, we're going to select 3 of them. So me and Shay were like, oh, what the fuck? Like, only 3? And he's like, well, yeah, we're like just the best of the best, because we're trying to scale to 100. And then he brought up like Elon Musk. And I thought about it and I was like, well, shit. You know, we have Shelly on the team now. And I'm looking at like what the fuck she's doing. And I'm like, damn, Jake's right. Like, if we weed out everybody and we get everybody like at that level, like imagine our team. Like literally like 110% the best and the best. Like hiring like
we're gonna get hired by all the influencers, because we're already building our presence within our influencers right now. They're gonna tell their buddies, especially think about this. When Dan Locke goes over closers.com, they're gonna be like, oh, this closer shit is a good idea for our business. We need to start incorporating it. Who out there already uses closers? Oh, I do. Team Live Rich. Oh, I do. Team Live Rich. Oh, you should check out Team Live Rich. Oh, Team Live Rich does my sales. Like, think about that. Like, and next thing you know, like, you guys are rich, like, as fuck.
Damn.
Well, and not only that, if you guys don't realize, like, you know, I know Kevin David and all them's big in the ClickFunnels community, but you guys know that Joe is really good friends with Alec, who's the CEO of Ty Lopez. Well, Justin Senior, who we just got, is in Ty Lopez's highest tier masterminding and has been for years. So he's in with all of those people. So now just the domino effect that can happen in this next year, guys, is like, I can't even imagine what's possible if we blow up Justin Senior's shit too. Yeah. Like literally, like real talk, like this, like fucking real talk right now.
Like, I know Alec. And the thing is, he'll be like, bro, like he will legit like call me or like text me like, bro, did you really do this for Justin? I'd be like, yeah. He'd be like, bro, let me get you with some other people who would need this kind of services. Next you know, we got the credit dude that Dylan loves, man. Next you know, we're closing his fucking $10,000 fucking mentorship. So like, it's just insane. Like the vision, as long as the execution is there, which it always is, like, it's insane. Like, actually put down in the comments below, how good have like this team has been executing? Just everybody, me, Jake, Tyler, freaking Dylan, Spencer, just like, dude, the execution of this team is insane. There's legit no lower self here.
Dylan loves. I hate that credit guy though.
Fire emoji.
It's crazy. Yeah, dude. I mean, literally, guys, the abundance is there. We're gonna see Joe go live, and he's gonna be like with his stacks of cash with Ty Lopez in his garage. You're like, oh, I made it. What's up, guys? Joe here. Team Live Rich with Ty Lopez in his garage. And I'm gonna be like, yes, finally it's happened. There it is.
That could happen very soon, to be honest. Very soon.
So, but so guys, with that being said, when I do launch it, guys, I appreciate all y'all's support, helping me get the word out there, helping it grow, and I appreciate everybody on the team. Appreciate everybody's positivity. That goes both ways. Like, I know I get a lot of stuff from you guys every time you guys get booms. Like, I love it when I get messages from you guys, like from Tyler and everyone. You guys are like, thank you so much. Like, this is because of you. Like, in my mind, it's like, fuck no, because like you guys are the ones putting in the work. Like, you guys are the ones behind the scenes who are always showing up whenever I do shit. And I take note. Like, I literally take note when I do stuff for you guys and I do trainings. Like, I fucking take note who shows up, and then I see what happens, like who gets booms and stuff later. So I appreciate all the hard work that you guys are putting in, because you guys are making me a better closer. You guys are making me want to get better and better, and we feed off of each other. So I love this team. Joe, Jake, you guys are fucking awesome. Seriously, you guys are great leaders. Jake, man, like, I see the day-to-day operations and the tech problems every time we have a hiccup, and you juggle your busy schedule and you're always there doing it. Joe, like, you're like networking fiend. You're always there whenever we need shit. So I definitely want to give credit to you two, because you guys have been amazing leaders in putting this together. So we're all happy to be a part of that journey. So everyone, I do want to give a round of applause to them.
Thank you, Dylan.
Maybe some claps. Let them bow. Jake and his badass YouTubing influence and stuff, you know? Like, but guys, if you guys haven't seen his channel, I'm serious. Like, I'm like, damn, Jake, I watch your stuff. I'm like, man, Jake shit's really good. I'm looking at his Instagram. I'm like,
Musk video, that shit was like,
yeah,
I'm like, dude, this is like fucking like big YouTuber shit. I was like, dude, this is insanely fucking valuable.
Hey man,
Yes.
if you need like tech help with your course, I'm totally open to it anytime.
Sweet, thanks, man.
And one note about Elon Musk, yes, I do love Elon Musk that much, is he believes that one good employee can replace 10 average ones. So that is why I do not care about bringing on a lot of people. I want the best of the best. And that's why we have to treat the trial system with like the utmost scrutiny, so that we find the best of the best. So we find more Shellys and more Dylans to bring onto the team.
Yeah, and don't you feel like it just levels up your game? Like, as soon as Shelly arrived and she shared her tips and tricks, I just, holy shit, I'm taking hella notes. Because I was like, that, like, it's just super nice leveling up. Like, I love leveling up. And it's just having a team, like, just full of people who are, like, high level. It's fucking, this shit's rare. Like legit, think about this. Who is in a community of like-minded individuals who are leveling up with each other, that actually likes each other, that has fun with each other, and then makes money with each other? Like, that shit is fucking rare. So for me right now, I just fucking said it out loud. I was like, the gratitude is through the roof. So damn, that's insane.
And what else is crazy, just kind of a side story for you guys. Shelly knows this. Actually, I messaged her before joining HTC, because I saw that she was one of the testimonials in the webinar. And I was like, my credit was shit. I was dead broke. And I was like, I was trying to apply for loans. And the only way I was getting HTC, and in my mind, because I'm so Ruby, I was like, this is fucking happening. I have 2 weeks to get in this program. This shit's happening. So I had to close my girlfriend. Otherwise, no game. So, of course, freak out mode is my girlfriend. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to get some kind of social proof. So I messaged Shelly, and then, she responded, gave me her experience, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, there, look, see, like, look, here you go. Like, I showed it to her. And I even told Shelly, I'm like, if I get in here, like, it's over. Like, I'm blowing this shit up. Like, I'm going all out. I'm going to kill it. I told her that. And then once I got in, it was just like fair game. David knows. David was my accountability leader. David here was my accountability leader in season 6. And I told David, like, the whole time, I was just on a mission. I was just wanted to figure out how to make money, how to get influencers, the whole time just waiting like a dude, like, trapped in a cage. And then whenever I got introduced to this closing team, I was just like, over, game on. Like, I didn't fucking sleep for a few days. Like, I was just boom. So, like, I'm so pumped to be, like, with you guys. You have no idea. Like, we're all gonna crush it. Like, we're gunning for the top.
You are a star. Boom. Love it.
Yeah, I remember the early days. I was even telling Kayvon, it's like, I got some superstars. Like, every season, there's a superstar in the team, right? Like, Dylan was definitely the season 6. And I sensed, like, the raw talent from Dylan. It's like just everything he does. So when I heard of, when Joe was putting the word out, I was thinking, who do I know that's hungry and talented, but not necessarily inner circle? Well, I got Dylan, and I put a couple other people, right? Dylan made the cut, so that there's Dylan.
Dylan was the only guy accepted out of your group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I talked to everybody, and I was like, no, this is not. I was like, I can't. I was like, nope. culture, nope. And then Dylan, when me and Dylan just got on the phone, man, we just kicked it off. Super fucking cool dude. Like, I think I'm the funniest guy, like, when it comes to the recruitment process, because I'm literally so, like, I'm like, okay, one, are you a cool ass person? Like, can I have fun with you? And then two is just like, what have you done so far? Like, my recruitment process was the funniest thing to me. I was like, okay, first, are you cool? Because if you're not, you can't be in this team. That was my number one thing. And I was like, oh, Dylan, he's a cool guy. I would want him on the team. And the other people, I'm just like, I was like, I don't know if I'd hang out with you. So, like, dude, I'm telling you, man, this Sapphire personality is real. Like, if I can't have fun with you, if I can't vibe with you, I don't want you here. But everybody in this team, man, like, I can really vibe with everybody here. So, it's perfect. Ooh.
Yeah, just speed too, guys. Like that's one thing I'm seeing from a lot of top people. Like all you guys that made a cut from trial, like I see a lot of the similar qualities. So I see how effective it is being so strict. Because even during season 6 and our accountability stuff, like there were some people we'd go through the weeks and we'd have like homework and assignments, like vision boarding, and it'd be like the night prior to the next week, and people would be like, "Oh, have you guys done this yet?" And I'm like, I did that the fucking night of after we did it live. Like, how do you guys not have this shit done? Like, so like just like moving with haste and speed and taking action and doing shit. And then like I'm seeing now coming from the trial team, like those are the ones that are rising to the top and making the cut. So we're going to have a bunch of rock stars. So that being said, I will shut up, hand it back over to Jake.
I believe this is Joe.
Cool. All right. So a little mindset thing just to really help out the team, really help out the squad. So I was watching this video from a course. Shout out to Stolly for sharing it with me. And basically the first video is Tony Robbins, like how to really change your life. Now, if you guys look at the right side of the screen, there's 4 boxes. 1 is belief, 2 is potential, 3 is action, and 4 is results. Now, I'm going to ask a question. I'll just ask a question to somebody random in this group. And I'm just going to ask you, there's no right or wrong answers. I'm going to just ask you, what do you think this means? And I'll actually have Stolly go over this actual, representation, because this was really fucking valuable. Like when I went over this again. So let's have some fun. Let's have Shay go over this.
You already know. All right, so it starts with belief. So if you don't have the inherent actual belief in yourself, you can't, like, if you don't bring up the belief in yourself that you can actually do something, that's where it starts from. Belief is the first step of this box. So belief is so important. You can do that through mindset, the creed, really getting your higher self up to that level. Then you get to the potential. This is where, through your belief, you now have the potential to get to where you go. So it's literally coming through you. You know what I mean? Your belief starts here in you and it comes through you to the potential. Now you got to take action. I'm literally I'm looking at my laptop because this is where the action is for me. So I'm coming through my belief to my potential to action. Now here we go. This is when you actually use what you have, your belief, use your potential to then take the appropriate action needed to then get the results you need. And the results feed into, obviously, then your belief in yourself, because once you get the results, you then believe, oh, I can do it. So I can do it, right. Now I have the potential to do it, right. Now let me take the action. Oh shit, I got results. I can do it. And then it just feeds again and again and again and again and again. And to a never-ending circle of fucking awesomeness. I love Tony Robbins. He's bae. Sorry. I got mad excited.
Yeah, that's so perfect. Stolly, you want to go over anything?
Yeah, just to add, I sent this in one of the Facebook Messenger groups. I really forget, and I'm not sure if it was Tom or Michael, and they said that they were going through some, lower self stuff, and sometimes I revert back to this video because it's huge. And if you guys haven't seen it, I'm just gonna do a little recap here, where Tony Robbins sits down with Frank Kern, I think John Reese, and these two guys were very big into internet marketing. This is 2009. And they go over a step where Frank Kern hit his first $1 million in a day with internet marketing, which is huge. This is 2009. It's almost 10 years ago, basically 10 years ago. And at one point they do an exercise where they sit there and they go, okay, what I want you to do, Tony's instructing both of them, is to turn around and see how far you can point. So they both turn around to see how far they can point. And then Tony goes, okay, now I want you to vividly visualize yourself doing that, but coming around 360 in your mind as vividly as you can, pointing your finger and doing so. And they did it for about 1 or 2 times. And then at one point says, all right, Tony says for them to go ahead and do it. So they turn around and they reach like 20 to almost 50% further because they exercise that in their mind, because they visualized it and they believed that it would manifest like actually in their reality. And then their potential went up. And then obviously he broke down all the 4 squares. And if you guys haven't seen that recap, that interview, I will post a link in the Slack announcements. I know I sent that in the Facebook group, but I saw this one video and it's pretty mind fucking, to be honest, because it's just so basic. It's so simplistic. And when you really nail it down, it means a lot, especially as what we do daily, not only on the team, but as closers and throughout our lives. And you can definitely see how if you're not in your higher self, this can feed your lower self very easily.
Yeah. Fucking on point, guys. Yeah, hit the nail on the coffin. You go ahead and go to the next slide, Jake.
Yeah, share that with us. I'm not seeing
No, I have the next slide, so it has the link. So some notes I have, so I just wanted to share with you guys is just, I learned that before you can accomplish any goal, you need to believe it first in your head before it can become a reality. Now, just a fun fact for you guys, like Team Live Rich, ask Jake, when it was just me and him and Spencer, like when it was just the 3 amigos, like I was telling them and I was like, look, Team Live Rich is going to be the fucking team. Like I already seen it in my head and I kept saying it out loud. I was like, dude, this is going to be the #1 team, like straight up. And I mean, look where we're at today, like legit only 2-3 months after CIB, when that vision came in my head, like look where we're at. Like it's super far, super deep. Even Dylan did this too. He was just like, guys, look in the future, look where Kevin David's going to take us. Like he already had that vision. He believed it in his head. Next thing you know, it came to our presence, came to our life. I have the link down here. And then basically just going over what Shay said, your belief is what leads up to the potential you have as a human being, which leads up to your action and leads up to your results, which reinforces what you believe. So I have an example of a girl, because, relationships like the easiest thing to get. And I was like, for me, like, I believe I can get that girl. Potentially leads up to me getting that girl. I take action steps of someone who believes he gets the girl. The results from that belief is that I get the girl. Next thing you know, it reinforces I can get girls. And then the same thing happens on the other end too. It's just like, I believe I can't get girls. That potentially leads up to me not thinking I can get that girl. I don't take any action or have any certainty if I talk to her. The results from that belief is that I don't even get the girl. So it reinforces I can't get girls. So it's just the power of your head. And I want to make sure you guys always catch yourself. Catch yourself when you catch that lower self thinking creeping in or whatever it is, because it always comes in. Like before a phone call, you have some voices in your head, or you have certain nervousness, and it's just like, look, I closed the deal before, I'll close this one again. So another thing that Tony Robbins mentioned is when having certainty. That's how you do by visualizations. And the way you have certainty is by having success rituals. So the reason why you want to have success rituals is, after you have the belief and certainty in your head, you need to have a success routine to condition your mind and body to go after your goals by default. So honestly, because this is what I do a lot. I wake up at 4 a.m. I'm trying my best to consistently do it, but I wake up at 4 a.m. and I do Tony Robbins' meditation. I do the visualizations, and I plan my days to make sure I'm successful and make sure I execute on what I need to get done. And that reinforces my belief. And next, that reinforces the results of my life. So I just wanted to share with you guys because I believe that was super valuable. Oh, okay. Team discussion time. Actually, let's have Tyler kind of lead this, Dylan kind of lead this, and Shelly lead this. So it's just straight line persuasion. This book is a fucking course. This shit's insane. How do you guys implement this book? And it's just a team discussion. I know, and I want Michael. Is Michael in this meeting? If he's able, if he's not able, that's fine. I want you guys to talk about the 3 tenets, the top things in this book, because this book is, man, you don't even need to take HTC. You just need to listen to this audio book and fucking implement it, because that's how strong this is. Yeah, but Tyler, Shelly, Dylan, the floor is yours.
Tyler, I know you've been getting a lot of results. I'll let you kick it off, bud.
All right, for me, the biggest thing, if I had to say, that has benefited me through just Jordan Belfort in general, is the tonality. The second week of his straight line persuasion, like the course that you get every week, just listening to that about the tonality literally changed how my calls have been going. Ever since getting on the phone before, like following up to make sure the appointment's still going to take place tomorrow, that's how I closed the first prospect for Amazon FDA. I called her the first time and she just told me, like, I got to level 3 pain, even though she was just very open. She was just talking about, oh yeah, my grandmother's got dementia and someone else in my family has dementia. And I've been working 2 to 3 jobs my entire life and I'm sick of it. And I want to take care of them. And like, she was going on and how she was homeless about a year ago, like living in a car in Kentucky, like in negative freezing weather. And I was just like, she told me that in the call, and my tonality, she could genuinely see I cared, because what I asked her was, she was in the car and I related to her. I was asking her, I'm just curious. This isn't exactly what I said, but I more finessed it. But I was like, I mean, I'm just so curious. I'm not, and if I'm not asking too much right here, what exactly about you, or like how? Damn, I'm choking on that, dude. So I've been so excited. Okay, so I'm blanking out. This is hilarious.
Amazon FBA, how you finessed it?
Yeah, with her, it's just I finessed asking her, how did she go through that? How did she overcome that? Being in a car for over a year, to where the mindset she has now, like, I'm sick and tired of it. I have to take action. I don't care. I don't have the money, to of where, like, okay, yeah, I'm willing to invest this and that. And she figured that Kevin David's course was worth $2,500.
It kind of is.
She was looking at other courses though. She was like, yeah, these are like 2,000-3,000. So I can only imagine that Kevin David's has to be the exact same price. And I was like, okay. And then like after I like waited a bit, I was like, so what would you do if I told you that his course was not even wasn't even half that, and it was only $997? And she was like, oh Lord, where do I sign up right now? And she got all excited, but even though she didn't have exactly the finances to pay it all up front, we both agreed, instead of her doing a down payment for the month right now, she's going to do it on the first when she gets her monthly paycheck. That way, every paycheck she gets is enough to cover the monthly payment, so she doesn't fall behind on her bills. And she can take action after the holidays, considering Christmas and everything. People usually are going to be doing a bunch of stuff, even though she's like, oh no, I'll work through the holidays. But I was like, do you have the finances right now to enjoy, or at least live for the next almost a week and a half before you really get into the course? And she's like, no. So I wanted to make sure that I nurture her and take her and like talk to her on that level of saying, it's okay to invest a little bit later, but you have to take care of yourself now at your house. If you don't have money, you can't just invest everything if you can't survive. So we both agreed. And I did all of that through just being able to talk to her on such a sincere level, and having genuine, just having a caring voice.
Okay.
Versus just abrupt.
So what I'm getting from you is that, one, you genuinely cared about the prospect, and she felt that. And 2, your tonality out of all your previous phone calls was way better, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm out of it. I'm tired as hell. I haven't slept also in a couple hours.
Yeah, Tyler, this is why we want to make sure you're taken care of, because we know you do a lot.
Oh yeah.
So
it was, just staying up for the past couple days with the inner circle closing messed up my sleep schedule. And today was like the last day I have to catch up before Christmas, because I work tomorrow. So like, this is my only day off, and I'm like, well, time to binge this. Yeah. It was a great day.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so tonality, that's for sure number 1. Shelly, Dylan, anything about this book specifically?
I love this, to say the least. For me, what I really took away from this was the structure. Now, Jordan talks about that there are 2 things that are so important in terms of closing. And that is tonality, like Tyler touched on, and that is also structure. I appreciated this in addition to HTC because for me, I don't know, shoot, y'all, I was in season 3 and y'all didn't want to hear me in Discord, honey. I was having fucking meltdown. I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I can't close. I don't know. Because in addition to being a Sapphire, my secondary gem is also Emerald. So I was really craving the structure to help me be that leader on the call that I need to be. And so what he goes over here is that everything, of course, is a straight line, and every sale is the same. Now he goes to dive into that. He talks about 3 things that need to happen on the call in order for you to be able to close. And those 3 things is number 1, they need to love your product. They need to think that your product is the best damn thing since sliced bread. Number 2, they need to trust and connect with you as a closer. And number 3, they need to trust your company. If those 3 things are not in place, you cannot close. And so if you don't really have this, you can't move forward down the line. And if you get that first no, you kind of get some resistance, you know that you need to really circle back to one of those 3 things and solidify it. So I really appreciated that, and that helped me give that structure. Now, another thing that I really took away was that building rapport. Building rapport is not, oh, how are you? How's your life? How's the weather? Now you're off the line completely and you're off in Pluto somewhere. Now, building rapport happens even before you even open your mouth. You build rapport strongly through things like tonality, like pacing, and it's really not even as much about this amazing relationship building. Like Jordan says, we're not just talking to these people for their fucking health or our fucking health. We're talking to these people to close. And so when you can really change the perspective in how you build rapport and really begin to incorporate tonality into that. Like, for example, I used to build rapport by, hey, how are you? Oh, okay, great. Yeah, how's it going? How's your day? But now I really build a lot more rapport through my tonality and my pace. Hey, it's really good to speak with you. It's so good to connect with you today. And allowing them to have time to respond. Watch Tony Robbins' video on rapport if you haven't already. If you've seen it already, watch it again. Rapport is not necessarily about, like we're talking about the weather. It's about you being able to establish that this is someone who you like and trust, and they're an expert here. There's someone who can really help you solve your problems. So that was something that was really a key for me to be able to take away. Another thing that Jordan talks about in this book, which was a limiting belief for me that I had to really obliterate to be able to increase my closing rate, was that, we hear that people don't buy on logic, they really buy on emotions, or logic isn't as important. When we say people don't buy on logic, yes they do. So one of the things that are 3 things that need to also happen, that something that really needs to happen for you to be able to close, is you have to have an airtight logical case. It does need to make very logical and tangible sense to them as why it is that they need to be doing this, and why they cannot wait, and why is it that they really need to buy now. In addition to that, you need to have that airtight emotional case, but it is equally important for both. So don't be afraid to really arm yourself as a closer to really build that frame and really have that certainty where you're very sure of the logic involved in whatever product or service. And if you can't really find that logic, you might not be as educated in it as you could, or you might not be closing for the right product. So that was a big turning point for me, especially if you ever struggle to close emeralds or you feel very frustrated with them. That really helped me, as well as rubies. For me, when I have that airtight logical case and I get to the bottom line, it makes closing rubies a lot easier. And something I also took away was how talks about the prospect is running movies in their head. So you as a closer really need to be able to create a very visceral picture of what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like, what it's going to smell like. I mean, they need to just feel like they are just like in there at the promised land, so that when you kind of have to come back down to earth with them, all they really want to do is go back. So his teaching of being a visionary, there are people who, sure, they have goals, and that's great. People are not going to buy goals. People are not going to stand behind goals. What really is such that extra element is really being that visionary. That's the people like Elon Musk and etc. that really have such clear vision that people can really rally behind. If you take a look very intricately in the Dan Lok organization, that is what's going on. That's why so many people are so standing behind that, because ultimately he is selling the vision. Many people understand that a lot of things in HTM weren't really even in place, but the vision was really what sold a lot of people. So it's not to be understated that being a visionary is so important. And he talks about the 3 10s, which really shifted my paradigm about what it was like to be a closer, and I wasn't trying to like stifle myself anymore. He talks about being enthusiastic as fuck, being sharp as a tack, and being a force to be reckoned with, or an expert in your field. So everything that you should be doing should be tying back to those things of being enthusiastic as fuck, being sharp as a tack, and being a force to be reckoned with. You're really going to set the tone of exactly what that call is going to be like. You come on the phone, you're boring, and a lot of people are experiencing things in their life that are boring or whatnot. Really be able to lead and set the dynamic that you want within that call, and do things with your tonality. I really struggle with creating scarcity, creating urgency. I was like, okay, great, but how do I get them to buy now? Like, okay, I don't want you to buy after Christmas or next year or come back later. I need you to buy now. How do I really do that? That's something that's done once again with your tonality. I mean, what if I told you that, man, not everyone is really going to get this opportunity. The power of whispering at the right times really allows you to create that scarcity. What should we do? Those are some of my biggest takeaways. I hope that can be helpful for you guys. I'm just devouring this shit, and I love it.
I want to buy whatever you have. You're not selling anything, Shelly. Christ.
Next day.
I'm selling Team Live Rich.
God.
I want to buy whatever you are offering. Make my wallet. Holy crap. Ooh, wow, I got chills. Anything you want to say, Dylan? Yeah, that was phenomenal.
Nah, she said everything. That was fucking perfect. That's exactly what he talks about. Like her memory, like recollection is like perfect. Like the exact phrasing and everything he uses. Like my brain doesn't like, it can't take segments of a book like that. And then she like said it perfectly. Like, do you have notes? Do you have notes in front of you? Did you look at notes?
I don't have any notes, but I keep like visual notes. Like I used to memorize things when I was little, and now it's just a skill that I have.
That's awesome. Yeah, because one of the things too, like, and I think it'd be good for all of us to do as closers is realize there's always room for improvement. And so just from seeing her, like, I'm thinking, I'm like, fuck, I'm a good closer, but I'm like, what do I need to work on? And I know like one thing I definitely need to work on is getting better at painting a picture. Like I'm so direct. I mean, fuck, Joe, you listen to my calls. Like, I'm just like so direct. I'm like I'm like so fucking direct and to the point of like telling them like this is what it's all about. This is why that though there are objections, and I make them sell themselves in the beginning, and I throw it back down their throat. Like, but like I don't go too in depth on like painting a picture. So I feel like if I work on that better, it'll help me probably with like emeralds. That just like she said, emeralds are my frustration. They take me off the line. They go down like they shit in my head. Like when they're like super emerald, like they'll want to analyze something I've never even like. I'm like, really? Like that's what you're thinking about right now? Like literally, God, how do I get this person back? Like, what do I do? So, I think everyone here, what would be really good is for everyone to just kind of just hearing everything that she just said. Like take the time now while it's fresh and write down like 2 to 3 things that you know that you need to focus and work on and make it. So my goal now, even moving forward and closing, is I'm still going to keep my style. And I love that she said that because I do have like my own unique style and it only works for me. Like I can't, if people try copying it, like it won't come across right. So you guys want to work on your own style, and then also what can you implement next time you're on a call? So I'm going to make a mental note next time and be like, okay, how can I paint a better picture when I'm talking to this person, just to test and see what happens next.
Shelly, you talked about building your own, like obviously knowing your own style and like doing personality tests and really trying to find out, just know the person that you are. Like, yeah, can you go into a bit more detail? Because I know I'm quite a forward person, so like if I think it, like, usually I say it. So which can sort of get me into trouble sometimes. So and it sort of makes me a little bit blunt on the phone sometimes. So I don't have that finesse. So how do I reconcile my forward nature just with having that finesse and really asking questions in a way that brings out, that lets them speak more than me?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really great question. And what really helped me with that, so I'm running into that same issue as well, was understanding a little bit about how communication actually works on a more intricate level. So communication is really like a transmitting and receiving process. So you, as the person who is saying something, you're saying something, it's coming out of your mouth, and then it's going into that other person's ears and really traveling down a Byzantine conduit of their brain, their memories, and a picture appears in their mind of what they interpret that thing to be. So like, you might say love, and then whatever that person's idea of love is what they're going to be interpreting. So for me, shifting my perspective to understand this, not even as much about what I say, as much as it is about how they are receiving it and how they are interpreting it, it changed my ability to really be able to influence people. So by getting a clear understanding of how the different gems or the different personalities are going to receive things allows me to really adjust things like tonality, things like pacing, things like structure of the call, so that it can be best for them to be able to open up and come out in ways. Like with emeralds, which I used to really struggle a lot with, I learned that for them to really receive it, they need to have structure and in which coming through. So I started to itemize things out for them just in threes. I go 1, 2, 3, and then that helps them receive it a lot better. So I said, how can I really incorporate my style in a way that's going to really resonate with this person? So I had to start playing those types of people in role plays so that I could really get good at that. I also love what Dylan said. I struggle to really paint vision as well too. So I had to kind of start playing these very visionary people, where if you guys have heard me ever role play when you do my vision, which is very real, you tell me, oh, so why do you want to make 10K a month? Well, I'm glad you asked. I want a nice custom built home from the ground up. I need a movie theater in my home with surround sound so lit that aliens know that I'm watching Scarface 24/7 on the billboard. I want a nice patio, outdoor seating. I need a butler who's cooking all my food, and I want all of these houses all across the globe, in Bali, in Thailand, in Aruba. I mean, I'm getting very visceral as a result of playing these people. We've really got to get to understand the very intricate psychology of who we're really struggling with. And then I really take that and begin to incorporate it into my style. So when I was building my style, I realized I'm like, okay, me trying to be something that I'm not is going to backfire on me. So how do I really understand my strengths, play to them, and make a very beautiful cocktail of all of that, so that it's a nice seamless unit? So doing things like my 16 personalities thing, the INFP stuff, doing my strength finders, taking like surveys and stuff that really allow me to ask myself those very introspective questions, closing yourself on yourself as well, in my opinion, really helps you develop your style. So like anytime I feel some sort of resistance, some sort of lower self, some sort of doubt, I just start closing myself. I'm like, all right, Shelly, so what's really going on? How long have you been feeling this way? Okay, so being as though that you've been feeling that way, and this is the result of that, I mean, what is this holding you back from being able to do since this is going on? Well, what is it that you're going to do about it? What really needs to change? Do you know what you need to do? Well, why haven't you done that? What other things have you tried in the past, and why didn't that work? At this point, I mean, if you've tried all these different things, why do you think that this is going to be different? Well, how are you going to make it different? So I kind of start closing myself, and it helps me find my closing style. Don't be afraid to close other people on themselves as well. You know, if you're really trying to be able to bring out this happens in my friends, my family, all these types of things where I used to communicate in a very different way, but now I kind of want to start closing people. My mom's a very strong emerald. So, okay, what is it that you don't understand? Why wasn't A, B, and C clear to you? Okay, how can I really help clarify this for you for the next time? From finding your style, close things that also don't have as high of stakes as well. Like I'm just closing people in Facebook Messenger for fun. Like we're just having conversations back and forth, and we might be talking about like going out to eat and stuff. They're like, oh, what do you want? What do you want for breakfast? Oh, I don't know. You tell me. What do you want? Just kind of have fun. When I started actually closing things just that didn't have stakes, just having closing in my general conversation, that's when I really found my style. And don't let like others try and take it away from you. Like whatever you notice some of your natural tendencies are, really think about, why is it that I do that? And what other areas of my life am I also seeing this pattern? Take note of the patterns. Jordan Belfort talks a lot about patterns. Everything is patterns. All of life is patterns. And one of the strengths that humans have that no other species really has to this evolved extent is pattern recognition. We are able to look up in stars and see patterns and then develop fucking calendars and time and stuff like that. Notice the patterns that are going on within yourself and start to see, why is it that I do that? And how is this of value in relation to other people? Don't be afraid to ask other people what you do well, your closest friends, colleagues, teammates, etc. What do you think that some of my strengths are? What do you like about what I do? When I handled X situation, how do you think I did there? Get a very clear picture of, go as deep as you possibly can into yourself and start to pick out those things and put them together. And the things that you really love about yourself, that you're just so on fire about, that you just, you know what, I'm just the best damn thing at this. That is probably one of the fundamental things about your style. And maybe even the things that you struggle with, try to reframe them so that they can become a part of your closing style. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that really helps me. You just really have to sit with yourself, get to know yourself, sit in some silence as well. Don't be afraid to also, if you're having trouble with this and you're like, you know what, I just can't fucking find it, start watching movies, start watching TV shows. Don't watch junk, but watch things that are very substantial. This will really help you in closing. You'll be able to come from an observer's perspective instead of being very in it, and you'll get to see, so person A did this, and that upset person B, and now person C, who's not even involved in this, is really having to come to mediate, and now this whole situation is escalated into all of this, so you can really get perspective and how you react to how it is that you see. Like if you get emotional for different situations when so-and-so and stuff like this happens, that really lets you know a lot more things about yourself. When I started to understand all of that, I learned that, I have a very mediator type of personality. That means I can see two opposing sides very, very clearly and begin to mediate in between the two of those. How can I really bring that into my closing? Now I take that mediation style and I use it to reframe objections. Well, you say you don't really have a lot of money, and I hear you. I really understand exactly what you're saying, but isn't that all the reason why you booked this call in the first place, and all the reason why you need to move forward with this? If you don't have enough money and things don't change, then when will it ever change? If not this, then what is it that you're going to do? If not now, then when are you ever going to take that action? You tell me. So all of that really came together. That was like my personality coming through in the tonality in which I deliver those lines, in the pacing in which I do as well. And you can find this kind of stuff everywhere. Does that help? Does that make a little sense?
Yeah, like I'm literally sorry, you said something about that really touched a nerve, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Sorry guys, I'm like it's like a little 101, like I'm on a
That is
fly.
perfect.
My bad, but shitting hell, sorry. Right, you said that some aspects, in the person in anyone's personality, but in my personality, don't have to be a bad thing. I can see it as a positive. That literally, I don't know if you saw my face when you said that. So, so reframing everything to be how can I use my blunt nature as it was, or my thought? Wow. Sorry, guys.
If you're blunt and you're direct and you're in that way, you can actually begin to, I tend to think of it like when we say be like water. Okay, maybe I'm in a big container right now and I fill it up here. Okay, maybe this person has a small container, so it's going to be filled up here. That doesn't mean it's not water, but it means that the container is different. So for people that have those kind of blunt, direct personalities, they can really do well at being able to pinpoint a prospect and help lead in that way. Some people really struggle to close sapphires because they're just fucking everywhere, and it's like, oh my God, like they're everywhere. But when you have those types of personalities who can actually begin to bring them down through your tonality, you can make different adjustments, but you can start to give them different ultimatums. You can start to give them very threaded questions. Okay, so I mean, you talked about that you really enjoyed this and that was what was going on for you. So what was that like for you? Did you have a good time, or how was it? By just adding that threaded question, you don't let the sapphire just go on, because you just say, well, what's that like for you? They're going to be like, oh, no, it's everywhere. So you kind of pinpoint it by saying, was it like this or this? So I love to give those like threaded questions. Oh, okay, is it like this? Or is it like this? Or what? So that they have now something to choose from, and now, or they can open it up if neither of those options were correct for them. So I often find that people who have those very direct personalities can help to really keep them on that straight line in a sense. Now, there might be adjustments that you have to make so that you can really maintain that fluidity through water, like water. And that really can happen, in my opinion, through your tonality and through your pace. So maybe it's like, so what really brought you on this call today? You can have different uptones, different downtones, but you're still being able to get to the bottom line with them. Like, okay, so what do you want to do? So, well, why is that? Okay, well, how much longer are you going to allow that to be an obstacle for you? I don't understand. What do you mean by that? You tell me. Through your tonality, you can really allow yourself to adapt and be fluid. And the things that you're doing well, just understand that sometimes you just have to polish yourself. Understand that when you're in your unrefined state, yeah, you're like, ooh, and that's when you're kind of getting on yourself like, oh, I have all these things that I really need to change. And if it could just be like this, or if I could just be that person, or if I just had that style. But really just think about, how can Shay refine herself? Like, what does polished Ruby look like, or what does the polished version of this really look like? And what can really help is, if you're struggling with being a little bit direct, get in the mirror with your tonality and really start to say things that you maybe said, I was really too direct here, or I was really too blunt here. Go over that line again and again and again and really adjust your tonality. I like to do different gestures with it, because that has a huge impact over how you're actually communicating and how you're influencing. Jordan talks a lot about this. Like, when you kind of come like this, you're putting the pressure on. You're not really, but when you squint, you're really inquiring, and you're really having the tonality that matches that as well. So know that you are wonderful just the way you are. We are always growing and just refining. So just really think of, what's the polished state that you could be in. Does that make sense?
I have a question for Shay. When you're doing these calls, because I don't know if you noticed, but Shelly, the way she was being direct was by asking them questions. I'm curious. When you're going in these calls, when you're being direct, are you telling them or are you asking them?
Bit of both.
Mm.
So yeah, that's what I need to work on, definitely.
Because that's what I caught. Because if you notice what Shelly was fucking solid. She was being direct, but she was having the prospect answer the questions. And obviously listening is way more powerful than talking, because you always want the clients to close themselves. But I just caught that, and I just wanted to mention that because I have a problem with being direct too. And I noticed that my close rates went way higher when I just focus on making sure the prospect does the talking and the prospect does the closing on themselves. And that comes from the tonality, and that comes from the questions you ask them. That's where the finesse comes in. So I did want to include that.
Yeah. If you're struggling with telling instead of asking, what really helped me was to find the verb in the sentence and then turn it into a question. Because often I have a statement that's in my head that I really want to say, but instead I can turn it into a question. It's like, you had a great day today. Did you have a great day today? Or, it'll work with anything. It's like, okay, so I mean, that's really stupid. Don't you think that's kind of stupid? How do you think that's really going to work for you? Granted that you've been doing A, B, and C, and that hasn't delivered results for you. Why would that work? So just any especially if you feel that, you're direct, and if anybody has a bit of a Ruby personality, it can be like sometimes like, why don't they fucking get it? Like, come on, man. Like, it's right here. Like, the answer is like, obviously, so you just want to tell them. So find the verb in the sentence and then just turn it into a question if you ever have a statement in your mind. That changed the game for me, and I hope it can be helpful for you too.
Yeah, that's sick, man. That's actually sick. It's weird that you said Ruby a couple of times, as I kind of really identify as a Sapphire, but it's interesting. But you're right, sort of when I get on a call, the frame that I have in my head, I've realized this recently, is that you said it before about knowing, being sort of as a closer, you're here and there's a prospect, they're there. Mm-hmm. And I realized that that's sort of the frame I had previously. Although I've closed, I mean, I need to be closing more. So I thought, okay, now how I need to stop thinking like this and start thinking like this. Mm-hmm. Sort of we're on the same level. And that was where Ruby was coming out, because I thought, I was above them. Not above them, it was unconscious. I didn't realize it until I really thought about the way I act in life. And so that's really interesting that you pointed that out. Yeah, thank you. That's fucking amazing, man. I've written quite a lot of notes, and yeah, I'm glad that this is recorded for my embarrassment. Thank you.
Go ahead, Dylan.
I was gonna say, Shelly, what I've been doing and kind of testing that's helped me, when I'm in certain gym types where I'm like, oh fuck, I know I can't be Ruby. I'll purposely tell a story, when I know I have to be blunt, that relates either to myself or somebody else saying it. So I always throw out, I'm like, man, if I know the answer, I'll be like, do you like Grant Cardone or Gary Vee? And then 9 times out of 10, they say yes. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, Gary Vee's insanely direct. And when he says it, it's like hell. But because I'm a Ruby, I can carry it just like Gary does. So I'll be like, in this scenario, 2 weeks ago, Gary posted a video on YouTube. You got to watch it. And he was talking about someone in this situation that kind of sounds like the situation you're in. And they're like, yes. I'm like, and then Gary goes, blah, 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 blah. You stop. And then they're like, oh shit. Yeah. Because it's not me. I framed it on Gary. So immediately they're like, and then but what's cool about it is the conversation shifts because it kind of brings a little Ruby out of them. So then now I could still kind of be myself more. So when it goes into the call, now it's like, okay, I'm not an asshole. I wasn't horribly blunt. I just put it on Gary's shoulders. I told a story about him or something with me. And then I was able to deliver it with finesse because their gym type didn't match. So I use stories about other people's scenarios or stuff that happens to me. And then that way it's not me saying it to them.
Genius.
I love it.
That is so genius.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, how can I say this without me being the asshole?
Oh my God, that's so perfect. Yeah. Yeah, and I kind of want to include, like my type of, because everybody's a different closing style. I want to say like I'm very, very similar to Shelly's, the way I close. But the one thing you said that was very, very profound to me was, for me, the reason why I close people is because I become their friend. And as a friend, you always have your friend's back. And when someone genuinely feels that, and this is an example I put, like, for example, Shay, say we don't know each other, but we just met. I'm like, Shay, I know we're not like that close, but I want you to trust me on this. There's this movie called Batman, the best freaking thing ever. You need to watch it. Like this is what you really need. Like, if I like, because as a friend, like, and that's kind of like my personality too. So I match my closing to also my personality, and it really works for me. And that's why I come off as very congruent. And when I go off to these calls too, I build a lot of trust and rapport because I'm congruent in who I am as a person. So another thing that I want to give out to the rest of the team, this is how I was able to have a lot of self-awareness into who I was as a person and really just be me and not fake anything else, was I would legit journal every single day. Like, I would journal every single day, and I'd ask myself like thought-provoking questions. I'd be like, all right, Joseph, what's the issue? Joseph, why are you having this issue? Joseph, why do you feel insecure about this closing call? Or Joseph, like, I would ask myself thought-provoking questions. I'll dig deep. And then next, I'd be like, oh, because I wasn't being myself. Oh, because I wasn't closed on my service. Oh, because I wasn't this, that. And it just brings you self-awareness. And you're just like, at the end of the day, once you have more like self-reflection, you just know who you are and you're very congruent, and it goes into your closing calls. So I just want to mention my type of closing, because mine is very like charming and very like, yo, I got your back, man. Like, yo, this course, you said you want to change your life, dude. I'm a really try to help you get there, but I can't take that step, bro. Like, that's really you. And it's like a lot of my phone calls, they end up being sapphires. Like, straight up, they end up being sapphires. They're like, wow, Joe, you're such a cool person. Like, I really want to meet you. And I'm like, yeah, we should get drinks one day.
I love the journal thing. I hear a lot of successful people like talk about that. Like, they swear by it. I've just never really knew. Like, I'm like, what the hell do people write whenever they journal every day? But like, that might be like a good habit, because even Grant Cardone says, he writes his goals 3 times a day because it's always embedded into him, where most people don't even do it once. He's like, if I do it 3 times a day, then I'm like way ahead of, everybody. So maybe even just writing your goals down in a journal every day, maybe just so it's embedded in your subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. But I might test that, Joe. Like, anytime I ever feel like maybe like the slightest hint of doubt, like I want to do something, but maybe I feel, because I don't know about you guys, like with me is, and we talked about this on the podcast the other day, is like, people don't realize it, but like I'm a very motivated and confident guy, but even I like battle with like lower self, like everybody does, right? So when I follow somebody that's like crazy successful, and even if I look at somebody like Kevin David and stuff, and I think, okay, well, why not me? Like, that could totally be me one day. But then the second shift is like, fuck, like those guys are already at this level. They're so many years ahead of me. Like, look at where Grant Cardone's at. Look at Gary Vee. Look at Ty Lopez. Like, how the fuck do you compete with that? Like, they've already have they're years ahead of you, right? So like, and then the next thing I have to do is I have to like smack myself and be like, nah, fuck that shit. They're going to want me to speak on their stage one day. They're going to be wanting to interview me. I'm like, but it's just maybe if you have those doubts and like journaling them out will help. But yeah, dude, like that's definitely, self-doubt and stuff. Like it's real, like with everybody.
No, it's journaling really helps me out, and obviously everybody's different. But here's like this, dude. This is from September 22nd, 2017, and this is when I was doing sales for personal training. And I put good, need to improve, and I put the close. So I like, yeah, and obviously like the way I always tell my friends, you always want to treat yourself like your own best friend. The reason why you do that is because, one, you always empower your best friend. You never disempower your best friend. You never tell your best friend, like, because a lot of people, that's why they're going to lower self. They're just like, oh, fuck, I fucking suck. Like, damn, I can't close any deals. Fuck. Like, and the thing is, imagine, you don't say that shit to your best friend. Like, for example, if like Jake messed up, right? I wouldn't be like, Jake, you fucking suck, dude. You fucking suck, dude. You need to fucking improve. Like, that's not going to motivate him. That's not going to encourage him. So why would you treat yourself like that? So that's another thing I always tell everybody who's going through lower self issues. Treat yourself like your own best friend, because you always have your best friend's back. And the best friend you could have is the one like your relationship with yourself. So treat yourself like a best friend. Yeah, Dan Pena, I don't know about him, but some things like I've said like good during, I was like address her need and went and wants during the system, opened up personality with my story to have her connect with me on an emotional level, trying a new approach during the sale, very good with flow and presentation. The client is engaged, went to her why a lot, made her feel good. And then I put like needs to improve during this time is like time conscious because you only really have an hour for during appointments. So I really wanted to focus. I have like a structure down in a timely manner. And then I put the close. This is funny because I don't, sometimes I look back, but it's weird looking back. It says automatic close because she saw the value in training. And she was so emotionally invested and she saw the value of what can happen if she invests in training. So yeah. Journaling like really, really helps me a lot. I just go over my problems and I go over how can I solve it. That's how I journal. I'm like, okay, what's the issues I'm facing in my life? Oh, I'm not feeling confident when it comes to this type of closing. Why am I not feeling confident? Oh, okay, now what can I do to feel confident? What are some steps of action? So you just dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and you solve your own problems. And then honestly, your life just gets better from it because you're so self-aware.
So you're the opposite of me. Like I have to have, it doesn't do me any good if someone said, if I'm doing something and then someone just is like just trying to be encouraging, it doesn't help. Like I have to have that told like, dude, you fucking suck. Like I have to, like someone has to straight up tell me that like, dude, like you're not getting results because right now you're being lazy or like, you know, you suck. And like, you know, but like, fuck, you're right. You know, like that's just, I don't know if that's just my personality type, but maybe it just comes from being like an athlete in high school. That's just how it was, you know? Like people just tell you they didn't sugarcoat shit. It's just like you either get better or you don't. And then when you look at people like the collegiate and pro level, like that's what they say when they're on the field, you know, they're very real with you. But journaling, I can see how it would help with like your lower self because internally you don't ever really like say that in your head. Like what you say inside your head is like 10 times worse compared to just like, you know, anybody else. Because I battle with it. Like guys know, like I love working out and like going to the gym, but I have like mobility issues, like horribly. Like I suffered like shoulder problems from when I was in the military, and I have tight hips. So what you guys don't know is like behind the scenes, literally like 5-6 times a day, and then plus before, like when I go to the gym, I have to get there 30 minutes plus early to mobilize, and I stay like afterwards, so it takes more time. And then behind the scenes, what you guys don't know is like I'm always on with like a lacrosse ball. And when you do that every single day, like it becomes discouraging because it's time consuming. Like in between calls or being on Close.io and I'm sitting here on the fucking, you know, foam roller, like rolling out, because if I don't, then I'll never have my mobility back. So when I went to the gym the other day, we were doing like overhead squats and the trainer was there and he was, you know, warming up his shoulders. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, fuck, like I need to warm up my shoulders too because I have bad shoulders. And then I was just like, how am I ever going to have the time for this? So then I looked at him and then I was just sitting there. He's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm genetically fucked. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do this stuff because my mobility is never going to be like y'all's. Like I've been working on this for months now and it's just not getting better. And the trainer even looked at me and he said, don't do that. And I was like, don't do what? And he's like, dude, like your thoughts, he's like, are so powerful. He's like, you can't say that to yourself. He's like, you can get out of it and stuff. You just have to be consistent. You have to just put in like more extra work. But if you're already having that thought process, and I fucking know better. Like I don't do that shit. And, but in that case, cause that's my pain point, like mobility and being pain. Like I want to be able to, you know, go visit Joe and Joe be like, hey, let's go play basketball and then jump and fucking play basketball. But instead I'll have to be like, oh, sorry, Joe, hold on. Give me like 30 minutes while I warm and roll. Because if I don't, then I'm going to fucking pull something. Right. So like for me, that was my lower self. And it took the coach, like literally being like, dude, don't do that. And I kind of had to like slap myself out of it. And then I caught myself and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? But like, I legitimately felt depressed. Like I was sitting there wallowing in depression. And then, but once he brought it to my attention and I caught it, I literally had to pet myself. I was like, Jesus, what the fuck? Like, why am I being a little bitch right now? I'm like, fuck it. If I have to show up here 6 times more than everybody else, I'm like, that's fine. I'll get my mobility and then I'll crush their face. I'm like, I'll 10X it, like whatever. but like that kind of pep talk is like what I had to like, give myself. But yeah, no, trust me guys, I have my own areas of lower self. Promise you.
And this is kind of like a huge announcement too for the team. And this goes for everybody, because I know everybody goes through shit. Everybody has their personal problems, but in here, it's a super safe environment as well. Like, okay, yes, we're getting money. Yes, obviously, yes, we're leveling up, but at the same time, this is also a family. This is a place you can go to when it comes to discouraging moments. I do want to put it out there because there's some closest on their team that messages me directly about, reasons why they can't come to a meeting, or how they're feeling, and it's just like it's completely okay to open up, because we're here to have your back at the end of the day as well. So don't ever feel like you can't say something, because this is the environment to do it. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, seriously, like, what the fuck? Like, especially if you go up to me and you tell me your deep issues, I'm not gonna go there and be like, damn bro, that sucks. Like, I'm gonna be like, dude, I got your back. Like, what do we need to do? Like is there anything in my end? Is there anything in the team's end? Because, like, at the end of the day, like, we have your best back at heart. Because that lower self issues, that lower self emotions, all that shit's real. And I don't want to disregard that. I don't want to put that under a rug. It's real. So whenever you're feeling dismotivated and like disencouraged, disempowered, just go ahead, reach out to the team. Like, we got your back. Yeah.
Also, guys, I'm a psychotherapist, by the way, in training. Just saying.
You got David Z in the house.
Very cool.
Free one-on-one sessions with David.
Yeah. I was just going to put in a note there. Thanks, Dylan, for sharing what you said. What you described is actually very similar to something that we do in what's called cognitive behavioral therapy. And I wrote something on the chat there earlier about basically how feelings work, right? So there's automatic thoughts, then we have our feelings, and then there's behaviors. So the idea with cognitive behavioral therapy is that we think our thoughts, and these thoughts just come up to us, right? They can be. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So these thoughts are just completely automatic. They're just coming. So sometimes, like, so Dylan, you shared, when you're stretching and you're, and then you had that automatic thought of like, how am I ever going to get this back? How am I ever going? How can I keep up if it takes a long time for me to do this? And there's that automatic thought of like, this time it's going to basically affect my scheduling and who I am as a person. That has no power unless we give it permission to have power over us. And it's the interpretation of what that automatic thought means to us that then affects the feelings. And the scary thing about the thoughts, automatic thoughts, and the feelings is this happens in less than a millisecond. Like, you could be like mentally delayed and like have serious brain damage. Like, they've done empirical evidence, and people who are very, very like mentally, like biologically delayed, it's still like it's really, really fast. So for us, if we're like fast thinkers, it's like we don't even realize that there was ever an automatic thought there. We feel the feelings right away because we already pre-believe it from patterns of that we've experienced in the past, and then that affects our behaviors. So a lot of self-crippling, self-doubt, like, oh man, I'll never close emeralds if I keep going on this way. Yeah, this is why, or even worse, this is why I can never close emeralds, or this is why I'll never make it. And then we start believing it, and that will then lead to behavior that gets really, really crippling. So being able to, if you guys have no idea what to journal about, and if you, I don't know, maybe don't even feel safe enough to share, which is a reality with us. We're saying that, yes, the family can share with us, but not everyone is at that place where you could feel safe enough to share with us, like 17, 20 people here. Being able to try to write that down in 3 columns: your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. You might not know what the thoughts are because they happen so quickly, but you can write down the feelings. Or if you're not a very feeling-oriented person, you can write down what you did. I just insulted myself again. I just yelled at myself in my own head. I just got angry. I didn't close. And then reverse engineer. Okay, how was I feeling before that? Was I angry? Where did that anger come from? Okay, and then reverse engineering. Of course, I could go into more detail about this process, but again, thoughts, the automatic thoughts that come out of nowhere. Feelings, how did you feel interpreting that, and how did you interpret that automatic thought? And behavior, what kind of action did that lead you to? Was it good or was it bad?
Perfect. Yeah. You know when you said you're reverse engineering, like what I did, how I felt. That's exactly how I journal, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, super interesting. Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna get one-on-one time with Dave. I'm gonna get on Zoom and I'm gonna lay on the couch and I'm gonna be like, all right, David, let's go through all this, bud. I was just
What
like, I was like, man,
picture did you see here?
he has the
Tell
tone
me
and
about your
everything.
family.
I was just like, man, all right, he's right. I was sitting there writing down everything he said too. I was like, all right.
All right. Okay, so not so fun stuff now. So again, I reached out to the team asking for the team's help. To help the team run with operations, everything we need to keep this thing going. So as you guys can see, like in literally 4 days, we had to spend the team had to spend $85 just to manage these Skype calls, to have Zoom. So to lessen the cost of the Skype is, I want everybody to just do Zoom, like straight up, just like do Zoom, because Skype is just way too like, goddamn, them credits add up. Like 4 days, $85. Like imagine a whole month. So go to the next page. So a lot of the money in management that like I'm making personally is literally just going to pay off these shit. So I just want to say thank you so much to people that donated: Mike, Ben, Jake, Tyler, Dylan, John, Maurice, Shay, Thomas, and you guys donated more. Like you guys gave $20 in there. Like that meant a lot because I was like super cool. It meant you guys really, cared enough to make sure this team is running smoothly. So I just want to say thank you so much, because it really does help with the payments. Because just to share with you guys, this is my Team Live Rich, closing media, the agency. Like literally, I'm going after my dreams. I don't have a job. I don't have a cash flow outside of this place. So it really helps me out a lot personally, making sure that my dream and also everybody's in this team's dream also comes true. And that comes with everybody's help. So I do want to say thank you so much for the donation. And then if you haven't already, there's a link. I think I sent everybody a link, so you guys should have the link. If you guys can, just please send in your $10. It's not that much. Not asking for a 2.5K a monthly subscription, for like future value. Like this is just to help the team run. So I do want to say that. So that's pretty much on that part. And now I think that's pretty much it for the meeting, right?
Is it? Feedback and questions. This was the
feedback, questions. Holy shit, like guys, who else think this was like a crazy good meeting?
Oh,
this was.
When can you have the replay up, Jake?
God damn.
As soon as possible.
Okay, because yeah.
Wow, this is all fresh for us.
No wonder the Navy SEALs won last season, Shelly. I fucking knew we had one of the best damn leaders. And we still, guess what? We're still using the system basically you had in place to report daily meetings. People still refer to like, hey, Shelly said this. Let's do. I know, Joe. Yeah.
Hey, we should sell that. We should sell that on the store.
Yeah.
Dude,
Absolutely.
that is.
Sell it. Make more.
Dude,
That's sick. I love that.
I would buy that.
Guys, I got work at 7 a.m. Sorry, Christmas Eve working. And it's 3 a.m. So I've got to get my 2 hours sleep.
Thanks
for
always.
Thanks for everything. I love this team. I love you guys.
We love you.
Shelly, you mentioned you're starting like tomorrow. Was that correct?
I think so. Let me make sure. Do I have anything else tomorrow? Let me make sure.
If not, it's okay. I was just wondering.
It's gonna be slow tomorrow.
If so, just let me know, Shelly.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I can
tomorrow's Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I should be able to get it going probably like the day after Christmas. I should be ready then.
If you are, Shelly, just let me know your email. I'll find it so I can add you in the email list to get you leads.
Yeah, I'll send it over to you and a message to you as well so we can get the ball rolling. Sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah, and everyone think about this for a second. Like I really want this to sink in. Like tomorrow's Christmas, and look at what we're doing the night before, like Christmas Eve. Like how many people do you know are literally like staying up with like this big of a group, like talking about how to improve themselves, talking business during the holidays? Like think about just the small percentage that puts you in, because it doesn't seem like anything big, but in my mind it's like, holy shit, like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
People like Team Danlock, Elon Musk, Apple, those big companies do shit like this. Doesn't matter the day. Every day is the exact same day. You give 110%. Christmas, I don't give a fuck. Christmas. Dylan, are you going to spend Christmas with your family or are you going to close? 'Cause
I don't want to feel the wrath of the significant other. If it was up to me, I'd be closing.
closing, I like that.
Every day is Christmas because I get to close deals.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So just want to say, does anybody have any feedback or questions?
This was the first week of Josue, right? Or second week?
This is like the second week of Josue. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the first real week.
Oh, fuck. I didn't do a slide on that. Okay. I forgot to tell you guys. Has anyone closed the deal yet with IG Boss?
I think you're the only one.
Fuck, seriously?
I got a
Okay.
payment lined up for tomorrow.
Okay, so when you guys are walking them through, and Joe, you need to bring this to Josue's attention because it is a clusterfuck.
Okay.
He has it set up to where when they sign up, the URL is going to take them to his Facebook Messenger bot, which is genius because it's building his bot list. And then he walks them through a series of steps.
Yeah.
I got the URL. Some of the steps being like following him on YouTube, go into his Facebook group, tell them that you bought the course to get into the students group.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, genius. But on the actual bot itself, whenever you're doing, you guys know how like on Facebook Messenger, when somebody's responding to you, it has the 3 little dots.
Yeah.
Thinking. So Facebook Messenger bot will automate that. But the problem is that a lot of the people in the demographics he has, they're not really tech savvy and they don't realize that's what it's doing. So because the time delay is like significantly long, it's like a ridiculously long time delay. They're going through the Messenger bot and then it says to go into the group and then they're like, I don't know what's going on and or how
This
to
is
get
from the people who bought?
Yep.
Okay.
So after they buy, right, the links to actually get their login doesn't come till like way later. And they don't know that because what's happening is the bot's portraying that they're typing to respond, but he's purposely giving them enough time to go into the Facebook group to copy and paste, but they don't realize that the next message is coming. They just see it as like what the fuck do I do? Like what's going on? And I get calls for it all the time too. One lady that bought at a course at an event from the Morrison brothers is like, yeah, I never got my course. I had to walk her through everything. And then every person I've been on the phone with was so confused by the bot. And my buddy builds them. So I showed it to him and he's like, dude, no one's going to fucking get this. He's like, the usability of it, of making sense is like going to confuse the hell out of people. And I was like, that's what I'm seeing. So if you guys close somebody, just stay on the phone with them, walk them through. And whenever they get those messages and they're like, okay, what next? You have to tell them, just wait. Like, just wait. I'll stay on the phone with you. It's going to come. That way you can walk them and guide them through getting their thing. But he needs to fix that because that's confusing as hell for people.
Okay. That's actually good feedback.
Because when she told me, like, she's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm messaging them. I'm like, what? I'm like, you didn't get a login information for, like, email? And she's like, no. And then I was like, tell me exactly what happened. And then I thought about it, and I was like, damn, straight to Messenger bot. I'm like, that's pretty fucking smart. I'm like, but the downside is, I'm like, how the hell are you going to guide them, do all this stuff, and then get them their username and password?
Okay. All right. Tech savvy. Okay, that's good. That's good news.
Anything else while Joe's typing?
Okay, is that it? So that's just after they purchase, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, right after they purchase. You're all going to run into that. So, like, if you're confused as hell, like, that's why. That's what they're seeing is because they're going to be like, oh, I'm on Instagram. And then they're going to be like, oh, I'm in a Facebook group. And then you're going to be wondering what the fuck's going on. It's because in the bot flow, he makes them go to Instagram to like his page. He makes them go to YouTube to subscribe. So you're not confused. Just realize that there's a whole flow, and they have to go back to Facebook Messenger. They have to wait to be able to get the next step. And how I closed her because she was Emerald is kind of what Shelly was saying about the whole step. I muted myself and I was like, fuck. I was like, I don't know what to do. So then I was just like, oh, I got this. I was like, ma'am, how about I log into the course and I just read to you step by step everything you're getting? She's like, oh, great. So I read it verbatim, blah, 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 blah. She was satisfied, and I was like, close. I was like, all right, there we go. Because it's like, boom.
Cool. It's just a long time delay. That's it.
Yeah. They don't understand that. They don't understand that it's replicating, that they're in the middle of typing, and that it's But the delay, dude, delay is like fucking 5 minutes or something crazy.
Really? All right, I just sent it. You should get it now, dude. You know, this is how you know you're like in flow and working hard. When you like forget to eat. I didn't eat this whole day. That's insane.
Dude, that's not good. You need to eat.
Yeah. Okay. And our post just got approved.
Whoa!
Thank goodness. I'm surprised. Like, I thought they might have said something about your name on it or something.
Sorry, you have to. Sorry, please re-edit the post. Do not include the name Joe Villagracia, and then you can.
Joe Villagracia is not even an HTM or HTIC. It's insane.
But they're mentioning us in Inner Circle.
Hey, you know, got to do it for the marketing.
Dude, I can't believe
So you saw, right?
They pitched us. They pitched us without telling us.
They did. I was in the class, and everything they were describing about the perfect influencer. And the next slide was shortly talking about the possibility of Inner Circle and being on HTM teams, and it was like us. And it was like the ability to be on HTM teams, like be led by leaders and close. And then the next slide was the girl who's doing really well and got handed that like $1.2 million influencer. Something about she has a really big influence that's closed like almost $250,000 in a month.
That she didn't earn. We built this shit from scratch. I don't care about that.
That I know. That's why I'm thinking about it like, oh, they're probably displaying that like, oh, they did what Liverich has done entirely, but in 1 month. But oh, guess what? Liverich is its own entire fucking self.
Business.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I have people asking me, like, what's Team Liverich represent? Like a lot of money, Rich? I'm like, no, it's not.
You don't get it.
All right. By the way, everybody make a testimonial for Dylan.
Yay!
Put that on my
I'm
power
gonna
list.
make you another one.
Jake, your testimonial better have like badass cutscenes and like edits and shit. Like let me tell you why Dylan Starboy is at the best close. Like cut.
Yeah, all his booms, boom, 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 boom.
Live training calls with music behind it. So is this really how you want to live the rest of your life? And
one of those inspirational videos, but it'll be Starboy inspiration.
I'm gonna Dylan Star on Mulligan Brothers in the next year.
I want awesome background, emotional music. Like I want all types of shit. The whole shebang, Jake.
Hey, Shelly, did you? Oh fuck! What did I say? Fuck! I forgot.
My testimony has to look natural for it to look real.
Did you see the promotion video for Team Liverich?
A promotion video? No,
Oh man, you need
to show it to her.
I'll send you the link.
Watch this video. This is insane. Like this is what like blew up Team Liverich. Like shout out to Jake. Yeah, shout out to Jake. Because it was just, well, I mean, then again, we just had all the social proof. Had all the social proof. We had all the heavy hitters. Like, damn, they slept on us. They honestly, I swear, they slept.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna be sapphire all over that video.
Next year, we're gonna make a video like that at CIB 2019, but it's gonna be us in like Lambos and fucking Mercedes cars. Let me tell you why I live best with the fucking team.
Wait, so we can't go to we can't go to in black, can we? If we're not in Inner Circle.
No.
Yeah, you gotta be Inner Circle is the depressing thing.
Bro, they kicked me out of dude. They deleted my Inner Circle content. I paid for that shit. They deleted all the Inner Circle content and they deleted all the previous seasons. I was like, dude.
No, that's all the previous seasons.
I was like, dude, I gave you guys so much clout.
They
like,
deleted all of your HTC like Dan Luck
I
University
have
stuff.
nothing. The only thing I have is season 5, Telephone Millions, and then the other 2, the 6 Steps to Six Figures, and the other one. That's all I have. I was like, damn, y'all really don't like me. Like,
Well, I think that's what I've heard other people that they do that too. Like it's like when you go into Inner Circle, you have all that content only that's your privilege of being in there. Once you're not in there, snatch back. Because for example, like if you were in HTC and like you don't pay anything else, you still have the HTC group, but you can't get into Inner Circle. You can't do any of this because it's a privilege.
dude, there's nothing in Inner Circle anyways.
Oh, now they're stepping up and making a bunch of stuff after you left, Joe. HTC 2.0, a whole different revamped style of HTC for 2019. They have like all this other extra stuff with HTM leaders. They have like live critiquing calls and like all this extra bonus shit that they're hyping up.
Yeah, because they were losing people. They were losing winners.
Yeah. I knew Andreas. I knew Andreas from Kayvon's team. He was a fucking beast.
Yeah. I think over at this point, maybe approximately 500 people have left at this point, either between 400
Inner Circle?
HTC completely. So that means they've left HTC and Inner Circle. So it's
Oh, Marcus. Marcus might close for us if you know who that is.
which Marcus?
Marcus, the one with the eyes, the Asian dude with the eyes.
Shit. We're gonna start getting
Oh!
dropping HTC Dan. Then Dan's gonna be like, hold up.
HTC Outlaws.
That's
Great.
their drama.
They did it to them.
Team Live Rich is focused on living rich, man. We focus on.
We don't discriminate against race, opinion, or anything unless you are not great.
Like, we're cool, man. This ain't no fucking cult. Like, this is like, we're cool, man. Like, we're just focus on winning.
Dude, like Shelly being here is like fucking Christmas, and like this is the best Christmas gift I can fucking have. I'm not even joking.
You
If
guys
it weren't for you, I'd be stuck in HTM probably still.
Is anyone in HTM still?
I think David is.
Oh.
David Q. David
So
Q, you're our leader, bro.
Where
You're our
are
leader.
David's in it.
You're running this team, bro, if they ask.
Yeah, David is the leader.
Boom.
David is the leader.
David Q is the leader. He's running. He's the behind the scenes.
Oh.
He's the Hokage. He's like way behind. Like, you don't even know.
Okay.
He's the Hokage, man.
Hey, Joe, if it interests you, Sifu was talking about closing closers.com. I know you're not interested in it, but something that he's doing in February, it's going to launch, but it's going to be like a pre-beta. And essentially what he was saying is that it's not going to only be it's going to be like a bigger platform of Close.io where your influencer can track all of your calls and all of your people. So, for example, all the leads that we call and everything, he can see who we did not call and like the issues and be like, hey, what's up? So they have complete access to all of the information when it comes to the influencer all the way to the closer.
Cool, man. It's 2.5K a month.
Yeah. No, it's only 2.5K, but there is the optional 9.7 a month.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering.
To select for you.
You know how everything's higher ticket, dude. I honestly, whenever I hear Dan Log, I'd just be hearing like $2,500 a month.
Hey Joe, I'm kind of curious. Did you ever get a refund?
Huh? Nah, man. They don't fuck with me. They don't fuck with me. No, I swear they don't like how I speak up. Like, I swear, like, leaders that hate when
Tina's all mad. Tina's mad he left her.
Tina? Well,
Oh,
Tina left me.
The joke. You got to tell Shelly the joke.
Oh, Tina left me.
What happened?
Joe had a crush on him.
So during CIB, your boy closed. That's all I gotta say. Your boy is a closer. All right.
Always closing.
And when I seen Tina, I was like, "Yo, what's up? It's time to close. It's time to close the tape." And that's exactly what I did. She was doing the red carpet interviews, and she was like, "I know I'm doing interviews, but this is an interview for me. How I could be a part of you. And I was like, Tina, slow down, baby, slow down. Like, I got this Team Live Rich going on. Like, that's my wife right now. I don't know if I can do this. And I was like, I don't even know if HTM's really gonna be my future with you, girl. And she was like, I love Dan Locke, but I love you more. And I was like, baby, don't do this to me. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. And I just had an inner circle. She gave me a call. She's like, baby, I can't believe you did it. And I was just like, you know what? A man has to make decisions for himself.
And then she took down your YouTube video.
He does. He's like, this is why I love you. By the way, you ain't getting no refunds. And I was like,
That's what it is. That's what it is, Tyler. When a girl gets mad and she throws all your shit out, all your clothes, and they burn all your shit, that's what happens. That's what happens.
You just gonna leave? You gonna leave? You gonna create a team? You just gonna leave? And I was like, baby, a guy has to live to his purpose.
She's gonna come back to California.
Girl. And then, we had to break it off. You have to do my thing, She still hits me up time and time again, but, I don't reply,
Oh, and Joe, I closed my fiance basically and her friend on us moving to Oregon, I believe, in the next year or two.
Congrats, my guy.
So it's in the middle of Vancouver, Canada, plus Oregon's great for what we want to do. And I have cannabis industry ideas, so great ideas all around.
There's tons of people with cannabis industry ideas.
Yeah, because that's just going to go legal.
But I have to be 21 in order to do it, which sucks. Otherwise, I'd be doing that shit now. Benefits.
I mean, Canada, it's all fully legal here now.
Yeah, but I still have to be 21. I have to be 19 there to drink. We all went there thinking I was old enough because, apparently 18 years old is old enough where in Canada.
Oh, in Quebec, but they're French.
Yeah, Quebec, but we were in Vancouver. It's like, oh, he looked at my ID twice. I was for a bunch of shots, and he's like, yeah, sorry, you can't even sit at the bar. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Keep forgetting how young you are.
Dude, hell yeah, bro. We're a team. We are a team.
So just so you know, if I do well on inner circle, I think I've told you, but they'll the inner circle closing, they'll put me to where I close everything. But if they make me decide on any way, shape, or form about you have to be fully committed to Dan Locke, I'm gonna be like, it was great adding value to you. However, I just want to let you know that because I do closing in there. I want you to think in any way, shape, or form because that's nice and all, but I'd rather be a part of something that I can not only have more of a connection with, but live your life.
It's good that you have that in your mind. Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a question for you in the chat, Shelly.
Oh, me?
What was it like closing for Team Dan Locke?
What was it like closing for Team Dan Locke? I'll just be completely honest with you guys and not biased. I still love Dan. I really appreciate everything that I've learned from him. Absolutely changed my life. But that was one of the reasons why I left. It just wasn't what it was painted out to be. In HTC, there's this almost fantasy that's really painted. If you're going to be handed these hot inbound leads who have come off of a webinar and consume content, very much like that article that Joel Go posted and put up there about, all of that. But Team Dan Locke, it's outbound. It's a lot of outbound, which, it's fine or whatever. But I'm going to tell you, I fucking hate closing DOD. I hate closing DOD. I mean, here are these people that have said no to the HTC upgrade already, and they don't really, have the desire, or they really don't genuinely have the money. And it just took so much time to even get one sale, and you only make $250 a sale off of that, US, and you're having to spend 2-3 hour sessions multiple times on the phone with these people only for them to maybe not even really want it. It's just the closer I got to the internal